The Earth is warming up, and human activity is the primary cause. Climate disruptions put our food and water supply at risk, endanger our health, jeopardize our security, and threaten other basic human needs. Soil erosion is fast turning what were once green ecosystems into harsh deserts. The Earth is succumbing to probably the worst disaster on an environmental level. We are looking for food and water on a continent that should be able to feed the world. Over 80% of Kenyans are dependent on agriculture for employment and livelihood. The growing reality of climate change, marked by recurrent droughts and floods, has seen a significant section of Kenya's population dealing with shortages of water, food, and energy. If the Earth itself is struggling to keep afloat, how will it cater for those who depend on it so much? The problem is monumental, and as we panic, we should be asking where the solution is. What can individuals or groups do that will literally change the world and how we live? What can we do that will save our land, feed us, give us clean water to use for our daily lives? How can we nourish the Earth once again so that she can nourish us? The answer may not be big and obvious as the problem, but it is there. Slowly, trickling as the patterns of water that we would like to warm the Earth, models are being realized that will eventually save us. Tucked away in a quiet, unsuspecting part of Machakos is Yatta district, where a project is breathing life into an area of Kenya that is known for long dry spells with little or no rain, and is often a recipient of relief food. Mully Children's Family, founded out of one man's desire to make a difference in the lives of destitute and less fortunate children, has become possibly the example that this region, Africa, and the world needs to save our dying planet. For the last 20 years, MCF has grown to be one of the largest children's rescue, rehabilitation, and development organizations, not only in Kenya, but also in Africa, managing several integrated children programs with formally registered learning and training centers, sustainability, agricultural and environmental projects, especially in relation to climate change, as well as supporting community development initiatives. In the mid-1990s, MCF's rapid expansion and adoption of hundreds of children saw the need to transfer the organization's operations to the more spacious Ndalani and Yatta farmlands in Machakos. On arrival, the first pioneers to the various compounds were greeted by a very hostile environment. Some of the children who had been rescued, especially from cooler parts of the country, found the conditions close to unbearable and were even willing to return back to the streets just to get away from the hostile, arid environment.
When we moved to Yatta sometimes in early 90s, let me say the environment was almost inhabitable because there were no trees. The temperatures were up to 40 to 43 degrees centigrade. Children coming from various parts of the country could not cope. There were children who would attempt to escape. But because of the good care we provided and the support we gave, these children became part of transforming that environment.
The founder, through much wisdom, set up clubs and began tree planting and adoption activities, whereby every child and staff member planted and closely guarded their trees so as to see them fully mature. The choice and planting of drought-resistant trees meant that the trees would need less maintenance, and once they were a little mature, they would easily grow on their own. This integration of physical, spiritual, and social rehabilitation, combined with environment awareness and rehabilitation, produced a unique model whereby children rescued within MCF leave with an enriched appreciation of environmental and climate transformation through their practical association with planting and maintenance of trees. The project was so successful that MCF, through their very own clubs, are now conducting community education within the districts to mainstream environmental activities within child life clubs.
So when we went out and began this program, the response has been overwhelming. We are having a lot of interest of various schools, right from primary schools. Children wanting to plant trees and be associated with those trees. What we have done, because we know children cannot act without support from the duty bearers, who are the parents, we are also carrying out community education for parents.
When the home started, the indigenous trees such as this acacia were sparsely growing across the hundreds of acres in the various farms and fields at MCF. The founder of MCF, Dr. Charles Mully, put a great emphasis on planting of trees, and as a result, the area that was once dry and arid is now very green and cool. This in turn has seen a significant and evident dramatic change of the area's microclimate, as the thousands of trees now grown that cover a large percentage of the various premises have brought down temperatures compared to the surroundings. These trees also act as strong windbreakers, covering acres of farmland and protecting MCF's agricultural activities. Tree planting has become a common activity within the various MCF compounds, with hundreds of university students as well as partners, friends, and the community at large conducting tree planting days with the vision of completely transforming the region. MCF's vast greenhouses have been constructed with water harnessing in mind and are able to tap large volumes of rainwater, which runs off into a cascade of dams for use within the farms and homes. A strategy for rainwater collection and an effective drainage system envisaged to facilitate storage of over 240 million litres of water to buffer the institution from water shortages during drought and support all sustainability projects.
Yatta itself is actually an arid land. Without water, you cannot do agriculture. One of the key aspects that Dr. Mully has developed is water harvesting. And this has been made possible by construction of earth dams and also harvesting water from the catchment of the greenhouses that MCF has constructed. And all the water that is harvested during the wet season is used again in the production process in the agriculture business.
MCF's Active Climate Change project has seen the implementation of a tree initiative with the support of Norwegian Church Aid. A large variety of trees exist and are available within the nurseries, with emphasis on indigenous trees. The tree nursery produces 1 million tree seedlings every year for planting at MCF Yatta and Dalani Farms, as well as to the community and partners in Mount Kenya region, Coast and Rift Valley region for reforestation purposes.
Most of the trees have been cut by human activity. The land is not even able to produce good forest trees, but the organization has gone into a combined joint effort with Norwegian Church Aid to develop a modern tree nursery facility, a climate change facility, whereby we are able to generate up to 1 million seedlings in a year. These seedlings are not only for our farm, but part of it is going to our farm for agroforestry and forestry, and the big percentage is being given out to other organizations to plant trees in parts of North Kenya, Lamu, and other regions of the country.
Recently, 30,000 trees were donated by MCF to Lamu County to support reforestation efforts there.
We expect to donate even other 30,000 in the coming weeks to go to the same region where afforestation and tree planting is going on in big masses.
These changes in environment have seen MCF receive recognition from several international organizations, including the United Nations Environmental Programme, UNEP. Planting of trees by the riverbank to prevent soil erosion has also been carried out. MCF has also hosted many local and international environmental conferences and seminars within the various institutions, and because of the frequency of these visits, MCF has purpose-built facilities for conferencing as well as accommodation. The future looks bright for MCF, and plans are currently at an advanced stage for greater participation through entry into 4 forums. Firstly, MCF is in the process of establishing an eco-village within its Yatta plan. This learning center will fully run on renewable energy. Through harnessing solar energy, wind energy, biogas, and biomass production, the facility will help cut utility costs within the organization, creating more resources for the core business, which is rescue and rehabilitation of children. Second on the agenda, MCF plans to upscale its community education, empowering the community, and also facilitating seedlings for environment change within the country. Agroforestry projects form the third arm of the future plans of MCF.
So the renewable energy approach is just to ensure that we are prepared for the negative impacts of climate change, which of course we have already started, but we are moving towards that end. It's a major priority for MCF.
Plants are sprouting, trees are growing tall, and the river is now teeming with life as it feeds the earth and presents a livelihood for these homes that present a model that the region would do well to emulate.
It's so hard to tell the people that and to believe when you are in Kenya, because they would like to ask, how do you do that where there is no rain? God has also given us water flowing right from the rivers, Tana River, Earth River, all the way to Indian Ocean. And we need to make use of the river or the water to do irrigation. And therefore, that vision, I would like to see it happening. And not only that, but also planting of trees and changing our environment around us to make it better so that we can attract rain, climate change. And that is also my focus. Yeah.
MCF started by saving a few lives and has saved thousands, and now has laid a blueprint which many could use, and we can eventually save our planet one drop at a time.